things I want to say. It's so hard. Oh my gosh. But yeah, TV shows are fun as well if you have a wonderful community.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nicely put.
Wonderfully, yes.
Please welcome to the stage, Michael James Shaw and Cassady McClincy. Here you go. Oops. Have a microphone. There you go.
Why, hello, everybody.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome.
Why, thank you so much. We made it.
Hey.
We're live. Yes, thank you. The convention gods.
Sorry, I pulled a fire alarm.
That was
Needed a smoke break.
I needed to start my own fire.
Well, it's so nice to have you guys here. Thank you so much. The audience has been briefed on saying we're not allowed to mention anything specific, struck works, TV, or movies. So we're going to make it just kind of a fun, intimate thing. Anything you want to talk about? This is just a real great moment to get away from industry stuff and kind of find out a little bit more about you.
Wow.
All right.
So, general question right off the back. How did both of you get into acting?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Shall I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good to see your beautiful faces. Thank you for coming out to Pittsburgh. Woo! I started out doing dancing when I was 7 and liked doing musical theater as well. And then I found out there was an open call for an agency. And I got my first agent at 9. And then I was auditioning, doing like commercials and stuff. And then I started doing online school, like homeschooling. And I booked my first like big girl role when I was 14. I was like, whoa, I can make a living off of this. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I've been just kind of doing online school throughout college. High school, gosh. And then I booked Walking Dead when I was 17 through an audition that I taped with my mom in my basement. And no, it was my garage. Yeah, and life has been changed ever since then. It was lovely.
Awesome.
But yeah.
I started out playing sports, and a mentor of mine, she encouraged me to audition for this cast of Ragtime. It's like a national high school cast of Ragtime. And I'd done some theater stuff, but never really like ventured into it. So it was like 300 kids around the U.S. who auditioned for it, and 30 were cast. This is like my junior year of high school. And I was like, maybe I could do this. And like I quit football the next year and ended up going to undergrad for theater at Howard University in DC. And then from there, I went to Juilliard for grad school.
Woo! Ow, ow, ow.
Amen. My knees have thanked me, even though one of them blew out last year, but they're lasting a little longer than they would have. But yeah, from there, it's just like a lot of theater in New York, and yeah, about 10 years in New York, and that kind of led to The Walking Dead much later, but yeah. I said the word. God damn it.
That's okay. It's okay.
Scratch that from the record.
He didn't say it. He said the shocking...
The shocking shed.
Walken. We're talking about Walken.
Christopher Walken?
Yeah,
Yes.
Walken.
So I got to ask about Juilliard.
Wow.
What drew you into that program? That sounds like it'd be a rather intense program. Juilliard?
Yeah. I actually, when I was auditioning for schools, I wanted to go to Yale. I wanted to do the Yale thing. And after actually going to Juilliard and like spending a day there, like they do a little callback where you get to like play games and work with the faculty. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I could like learn a lot here and I feel safe. Yeah, so the audition process, is that what you're asking about? I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go in and you do your monologue for like a council of like 13 professors. It's kind of weird and intimidating. And then you go away for a bit, and then you find out if you get a callback or not. It's very strange, but yeah, it was a beautiful time in my life. Going to New York, moving to New York, and getting to study theater. Like, it's kind of rare you get a chance to just dive deep into a subject or a a profession, I guess, and learn the ins and outs of it.
Well, you're a writer also. Did you start writing first or acting first, or they kind of came together at the same time?
I am a writer, but I'm more of a poet. That's kind of my deal. But it kind of unearthed itself later, It was actually while I was at Juilliard, we had a poetry class. And every week we would have to write like a slam poem or a poem based off of another author's like format. And I kind of got into it, and that's kind of been another one of my side kind of talents that I just keep working on. It's not really a public thing, but it's really just me expressing myself. Yeah. I actually went to an open mic last week. I didn't get up yet, but I'm going back again when I get back to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should come with.
Yeah, I was like, come on, guys, let's go have a little mob. Like, let's go support. I love that. I didn't know that you wrote poetry. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I know he's an incredible musician, guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I write music and I sing too. Yeah.
And he makes cool sounds also with a computer.
Yeah, I'm a producer. Like I work on Logic Pro, and I just got an MPC, so I've been learning that. Yeah.
So you're definitely using some downtime for some good stuff.
Oh yeah. You got to keep the mind going,
Making magic.
And Cassie, you started out pretty early. You said around 9 years old. Was that in film or TV? What was the transition between the two, and which do you prefer?
Oh gosh. Well, I can't talk. Oh, it's so annoying. There's some things I want to talk about, and
Just
I'm so
take your
excited,
time.
but I can't. So when I was 9, actually, you know what's cool is I was a photo double when I was like 10 or 11, and it was for this movie called Parental Guidance. That was my first introduction to being like on a movie set and seeing how it actually works. And Marissa Tomei, who's going to be here this weekend, was the mom in it. So I met her and I was like, oh, she's so cool and nice. And now I'm going to see her again, and it's going to be a weird full circle moment. But yeah, I started out doing commercials. That's what I was getting as a young theatrical kid, doing like Crayola and toilet paper commercials and stuff. And then I like movies more because it's kind of like there's more variety, and it's kind of fun to have such a time crunch to fit in a whole story. To make a whole story in a month it's such a challenge, but I feel like everyone is kind of like a well-oiled working machine, or it's the opposite, and it's really like, how are we going to do this? But yeah, the things I want to say, it's so hard. Oh my gosh. But yeah, TV shows are fun as well if you have a wonderful community. Mm-hmm.
Nicely put.
Yes.
All right, let's get to, I have one more question. Anyone have a question on this side of the room, please line up over there, where Kyle's at. If you're on this side of the room, you can line up over there, and I'll get to your questions. I have one more question while those guys are lining up. Obviously, the Comic-Con thing is quite a thing. What are your experiences with it? Are you kind of surprised by it, or having fun with it? I mean, this is a different animal.
It is.
Yeah, each one is a different vibe and a different energy, and it's cool to like travel and see how other fans around the world, around the states, like receive the like we just came back from the UK.
Manchester, yeah.
And the fandom there is totally different, but it's still cool in its own right, Yeah. A lot of tattoos of the characters, like hardcore, like fans. No, but it's just like it's great to celebrate the
work
that
world.
we got to put together and see how it was received, because we were shooting in a bubble, especially the last bit. It's COVID, so it was a little weird, but the camaraderie and the friendship that we were building at the time, it's still palpable in the work, and that's really cool to see and feel.
It's also cool to see the fans make friends and family through these conventions as well. Yeah. That is something I love to see because it feels like this thing we did connected us and everyone that watches it as well. So it's like, it just feels really good. Yeah.
Great. We're going to get to the question. Were you guys familiar with any of the graphic novels?
The comic books?
Yeah, the comic books. Familiar with them before you started?
Before.
Yeah.
No, not before. No.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know who I was auditioning for.
Yeah.
It was dummy sides. I was like, oh, this guy's cool, yeah. And then they sent me the actual like book, and I was like, whoa, that's gonna be me? What?
That's so cool. Yeah, I didn't know about the comic books until I booked it, and then I knew about them, but I didn't know which character I was. I guessed though, based off of what the show was, and I'm a teenage girl. I was like, how many teenage girls are in the comic books? But yeah, it's great.
We have some water for you there if you'd like any. Let's get to some of your questions.
Though I do want to ask on the dummy sides, do you remember what fake name your character was given?
Molly.
Molly.
Yes, because I just played a character named Molly before the last role I booked before walking.
Before walking into a new role.
Before locking the shed.
That was scary, man. Yeah, it was named Molly, and I was like, oh, another Molly. And it wasn't. It was a fake name.
I don't remember what the name was. But I will say the first scene in the packet was similar to the scene with Eugene, but it was a little more rough and tumble. Some Russian roulette was played. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I start on this side since I've got more?
Absolutely.
All right, we have our first question right here.
Hello.
Terrifying. Hi.
Hi. Hello. So I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite character complexity? Like, what's your favorite thing that makes a character super complex?
Where are you from?
I'm actually from here. It's just my character. So.
Oh, nice. I need your accent skills. Oh gosh, character complexities. I love getting physical, like falling into like a certain physicality. I feel like that is one of the most interesting aspects to finding a new character. Like how do they sit? How do they walk? How do they communicate through their body language is probably one of the most interesting things for me. I'm interested to know what you have to say.
Usually I get like these opposite things. Like me as Michael, like I'm usually attracted to things that are unlike me or the things that I wish to be. So I end up usually booking those roles because I'm not like that guy I played in that show, but there are parts of me that aspire to be, so I kind of learned those things and kind of took on his discipline. So I really like when I have to like change who I am at the core a little bit to tap into a character. Like I played another character on another show where he was a bit more outlandish and like a jokester, and it was really hard for me. But I enjoyed the fact that I had to like change or pull a different part of myself out to actually manifest him.
Then you learn so much about who you are and kind of
What
just
scares
grow as a
you.
person. Yeah. That's so cool.
Okay,
That's a great question.
Great question. Thank you. And another question right here.
Now, what was I going to ask?
What's up, Robert?
How you doing?
Rob.
Favorite music or favorite artist?
Oh, that's so hard.
Or what are you currently listening to?
Currently? Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Oh.
I'm a big fan of Tom Misch. He's kind of like a guitarist, but he's a British soul artist. Yeah, I've been vibing with all of his albums. Let's see.
I like indie music. I Well, I'll say I just went to a Mac DeMarco concert and a Hosier concert. Hosier? I don't know how to say his name. Gosh, this is hard. I like Joni Mitchell. I like Jack Johnson. I always listen to Jack Johnson in the car with my sister. King Cruel. Yikes, this is so hard. My brain, like, it's everything. I change my music like I...
Boo.
Oh,
It's getting hot in here.
So take off all...
Let's just kind of keep rolling with this, if we can.
Keep rolling with it.
Yeah. Michael, you said you make music. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I kind of started writing in high school. Like, this kid in the drama club had a guitar, and he was like super popular because he played and he was singing. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play guitar. So I started writing in high school, and a big influence of mine, I love like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They're songwriters from like the 80s and 90s. I love I grew up kind of listening to like R&B, so it was like Usher, D'Angelo, that kind of vibe is all kind of mixed in, those kind of top lines. And then as a producer, I kind of grew up listening to Pharrell and a lot of that Neptune's kind of sound. So implementing those worlds together and creating my own little R&B like gumbo. But it's a little bit of rock, a little bit of like avant-garde, digital. Yeah, it's all those things. But it's just for me right now. I don't know if I'm gonna release anything. Maybe in the future.
All right, let's get this last question over here, then we'll go to that side.
So we'll kind of keep the music thing going because I had a question typed out that took way longer than I care to admit in front of everybody, but I can't ask it. So you said something about Logic Pro. So I do live music production. So the pandemic kind of forced us to record with people 12 feet apart, and that was super interesting, but I'm not a studio guy. And then I was reading stories of different composers recording 100 different instruments from an orchestra all in this little, 2x2 box. So the question kind of is, are you kind of the person that's able to pick up all those instruments and take Logic and mesh that into something that's cohesive, or are you getting friends to help you out with the different pieces of music?
Yeah, every now and then I have a friend come in, I need help with the bass line or, different components of a song. But I'm pretty much building the whole soundscape, instrument by instrument or plug-in by plug-in myself. This is an interesting challenge. During the pandemic, I got bored and I started taking classes, and like it was a thing I always wanted to do but never had the time. So the pandemic offered a moment to like, let's just dig into this and see what we can do. And yeah, it's just been like a trial and error kind of like moment for me to just play and not have any judgment or any expectation,
We have about 10 minutes left. I don't know if you guys got a photo op you have to be at or back at your table, but needless to say, let's knock out some more questions. We have about 9 minutes.
Speed round.
6.
Yes. On the show Walking Dead, are you...
On a show that you were on at some point in your life.
Yeah.
We're talking heads.
Were you ever allowed to do any of your own stunts, or they said you're not allowed to do any? Like they left that to the professionals?
I pretty much did all of my own stunts. I kind of like wanted it that way. It's just fun, like we had a great team behind us. Yeah. Monty and the whole crew, like it was kind of, it's fun because you show up on the day and you learn it and you do it. Yeah. It's not like you go to rehearsals or nothing like that. It's like, okay, you got this, go for it. And it was fun just to test yourself and like really be physical and almost not know how it's going to pan out, but just show up and be game for it,
Yeah. I didn't have very many stunts. There was one time jumping off a roof, and I really wanted to, but they wouldn't let me because I hurt myself just walking through day-to-day life. So they were like, no, Cassady, you are not jumping off a building. But yeah, I did get to do a lot of the stuff that I did have to do, which wasn't very much, but yeah. Like I learned how to do the bow stuff, which was fun. But then they didn't really use it, but it was still really cool skill to learn.
Okay. Next question, please.
Thank you.
When you're not acting, what are some things you like to do for fun?
Hi, Izzy. Music.
You did a show. Didn't you do a show?
I did a little jazzy show.
Yeah.
I love Ella Fitzgerald. I think she's an incredible singer. So I did a jazz show with some of her songs, yeah, I'm also trying to start making music as well. And
this woman has the voice of an angel.
This man has the voice of an angel. But yeah, I like that, and I like dancing. I love traveling, camping. I love the outdoors. But now with the strike and everything, I can write my own things. I need a creative outlet. I feel like I'm going crazy. But yeah, what about you?
Well, we talked about some of the things I do, but right now, outside of music and like trying to get up on stage for a poetry open mic, just trying to get my courage.
I need to see.
Just taking care of my body. I'm getting old, so I'm just kind of like making sure that everything's in line as I age into whatever. But yeah, I tore my meniscus like a year ago, so it's been a rehab project for myself. But now it's like, oh, what are the things that were going wrong before I tore it that probably caused me to tear it? So just working on that. I would like to get back into grappling eventually once everything is all healed. While we were shooting the thing that we did in Georgia, I started practicing jiu-jitsu. That was one of the things I kind of took on. There's a lot of ex-military guys. Like, it was good energy to be around and pick up information and get a vibe about who that guy was. So I was doing jiu-jitsu the whole time we were working on that thing in Georgia.
We've got time for 2 more questions, and they'll be headed back to their table to do some signing or for a photo op.
Are there any characters in the future that you want to play, like fictional characters?
Whoa, hi Negan. Hello Negan. Oh gosh. I've always been interested in like a female Joker, crazy kind of character. Yeah. I think something outrageous, something I've never done before, something just absolutely berserk is what I just want to lose it. I want to lose my cool.
You didn't pull the fire alarm, did you?
Oh, why, of course not. Why would you ever say such a thing? It's all part of a master plan. No. Yeah, I love that question. I would say like some kind of female Joker. And then there's Harley Quinn right behind you. That's weird. What the heck is happening? Some kind of synchronicity. But yeah, what about you? What kind of character?
I would love to play, if they ever brought him back into the other universe, Bishop would be kind of cool. I kind of love that character. But anything that challenges what I've already done, like that's kind of the thing. Like I want to step into a different pair of shoes.
Yeah. Or like learn a new skill also. Or Rogue. Someone said something about Rogue, which would be fun. Like not being able to touch anyone, but that's such a hard thing for me to do. But yeah, anyway, okay.
We got time for one more quick question. Let's make it happen.
No pressure.
How long did you play football for?
I played for 6 years. I was like middle school up until my junior year. Yeah.
Nice. What teams do you like?
I don't watch football anymore. It was, it was something I was good at. And my dad was like, yeah, you got to do that, okay? And I did it. until I found the stage, and then that was
Thank goodness for that.
Cassady, how long did you play football for?
Oh God, I'm still playing, yo.
right.
No.
Well,
No, I don't know how to play football. I don't even know how to watch it. I don't know.
well, thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you all.
Give it up.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Beating the alarm system roll. Give it up. Michael James Shaw, Cassady McClincy. You could do better than that. Come on.
This is Ross Marquand, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight, which is awesome. So like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom.